Alright, we're back here with another tier list. This isn't really, I don't know why this won't, okay, never mind. I'm here with another tier list, sort of. It's actually of a ranking, it's not a tier list. I'm just doing this in tier maker format, because I can't be bothered to put a lot of effort into my videos. So, I'm gonna be ranking the quintessential quintuplets. So, you see there's no, like, S tier, A tier, B tier, all that shit. There's none of that. And I have them separated down here by age and whatnot. So, the girl who I'm going to have in number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, yeah. I feel like I don't need to explain how numbers work to people. I would hope not. Okay, so, I want to preface this before anything. I want you guys to know. I do not hate any of these characters. Like, just because you're in the lower half does not mean I hate them. I like every single one of these characters. And you have been warned. I have read the manga. I am doing manga spoilers. If you do not want manga spoilers, do not watch this video. Because I will be discussing who the winner is, by extension, who the losers are, how I feel about her winning, and how I feel about everybody else losing, and some events that happened in the manga and whatnot, so you have been warned. This is not the place. If you just want to skip to the end and see where I rank them, that's fine by me. So if you have been following my content for the past, like, week, where I've been making those throw-in for content videos, you probably already have an idea of who my number 1 is, but, let's just do this. If you don't know, then don't look at my thumbnails, because then you'll know. Alright, so I want to try to make this as... I kind of don't just want to put them on there and be like, yeah, whatever. I kind of want to go in depth, but I also don't want to make this a fucking hour. But so, should we get to our number 5 then? I guess it only makes sense that my number 5 is the 5th one born. Again, don't hate her. I like her and everything. I just think that compared to all of the other quintuplets, she doesn't really do that much to stand out for me. To me, maybe I'm wrong the way I view her. I kind of view her as like a combination of all of the quintuplets just put together into one person. Like she can be mature like Ichika, fun and energetic like Yotsuba, like laid back like Miku, and a bitch like Nino. I just kind of find her to be rather boring. It's funny how they're always joking about how she's gonna get fat because all she does is eat. She's like Sasha Gotta Eat, a dude I met on Rocket League who is like the worst player I think I've ever played with in my life. So there's that. I'm sorry I just hit my mic. I'm looking for my fucking remote. So she's just... Again, she doesn't really do much to stand out for me. I don't hate her. At the end of like the manga, well, towards the end, when they all did their own little arcs with Futaro, and how they're pseudo redemption arcs, sort of, not really, but hers, out of the 5, was definitely my favorite. Like it's not even a competition. Like, I feel like Miku's was fine, Yotsuba's was fine, I like Nino's a lot too, and I feel like I don't even remember Ichika's at all, but the whole thing with her, with their biological father coming back and saying, like, hey, you're living in your mom's shadow, I don't like that, stop it, after he was absent for their entire life. Like, this dude found out he was having quintuplets and said, I'm getting out. It's a fucking dick. And then he comes back and he's like, hey, you can't become a teacher because you will be just like your mother and you're gonna spiral down the same path, and I don't like that. And he's basically telling them what to do, despite the fact that he doesn't even know them. At the end of that whole thing, we see Miku is dressed up as Itsuki. And he doesn't even know he's talking to Miku. He can't tell them apart. Their stepfather the one who's raised them their entire life, he came along and he's like, you can't even tell them apart. Get the fuck out of here. They're not your daughters. So that was pretty cool. Plus, I want to point out that I thought that she would be the winner for the longest time. Because she's kind of like the poster child for this. On top of, like, whenever they show, like, him with the bride, she always has red hair. And she's the only one with that hair color. But I know canonically they all have the same hair color, so there's that. But Itsuki, again, don't hate you. I like you. You're just not my favorite. Next up, we have Ichika. For a lot of people, she's the worst, and I get it. She fell off so hard. What's an anime that fell off? Like, she fell off, she fell off, like, down farther than fucking Fire Force did. Fire Force fell off hella hard. But, so in the first season, you know, she's, like, the oldest one. So she's, like, the mature one. She's, like, their mother. She's, like, she's supposed to be, like, the one in charge and whatever. And it really does seem like she fits that role very well. She's a very nice person. She's very kind-hearted. At first. And if I would have just watched the first season, she would have been right here. But after watching the second season and reading the manga, she fell off. Like, she goofed. So they do the whole thing where they dress up as each other so that they can not Yotsuba. So she was dressed up as Miku, just because Miku had to do something and she took the fall. So the main character, Futaro, sees Ichika thinking it's Miku, just having a conversation, and Ichika goes, I think Ichika would really like you. I think you two would make a better couple than me and you. While she's dressed up as Miku, which is kind of fucked. The whole thing about how she's like, she's willing to trample over every single one of these. Nino is too, but the way that she does it, she's like a fucking fox, dude. She's sneaky, she's cunning, and she's just a fucking cunt. But I still do like her more than Itsuki, because she does stand out to me for that. Not to mention, I don't really think I had many good memories of her in Season 1, Itsuki. But I did like her a lot in the first season, Ichika. So, I don't know. Like, yeah, Nino is the biggest bitch. But, like, because she's, like, directly, like, in your face, a bitch. This girl is, like, behind the back, sneaky, and, like, that's just, she's shady. She's shady as fuck. But then she's so nice every other time. Like Nino and Ichika are having a conversation, and why am I mixing up their names? Nino tells Ichika that, hey, I'm willing to trample over everybody for a man that I like, and then Ichika found out they like the same person, and she's like, shit, she's gonna beat my ass. I gotta go behind her back to do this stuff. They were buying Futaro a gift. Well, they weren't supposed to buy him a gift for his birthday. But Nino tells everybody, he's like, hey, what's up, bitches, I got it. And then Ichika bought one too, but she doesn't tell anybody. She's like, why would you do that? Again, so she's cool and everything, but she fell off. And then in the manga, she kind of is, after the end of Season 2 and like where the manga begins, she's a lot better. So, there we go, Ichika. I feel like I just said the same thing a million times, but here we go. So number 3, keeping up the age. She's the third one and my third favorite. Okay, why is my hard to breathe right now? So Miku, she's the most relatable one to me. She's a gamer, which I'm a gamer. She listens to music. I listen to music. Very relatable things that not a lot of people do, you know? I don't go on, I don't ever see Tinder profiles where they're like, yeah, I listen to music. I don't ever see that, because people fucking hate music. Anyway, so not even just the whole gamer and the whole listening to music thing. She is the shy one. She is like, who's a character I can compare her to? She's like Hinata from Naruto. She's shy, she'll like watch somebody from the shadows, she'll root for them, and she'll like, and whenever she's in like the same room as Futaro, she's always nervous, she's always trying to like be nice to him, but she just can't have, the words just can't come out, just like me talking right now. Dude, I feel like I'm talking out of my ass so bad right now. But she is cool and everything. She is like the fan favorite. She's the one that everybody likes, and I understand, because she is the most relatable. I like how in like the last arc, she starts like screaming at people. She finally overcame her weakness of being shy and everything. And it's just, she's cool. Like, I like how she jumped on the Futaro love wagon really quick. Like, Miku, Ichika, and Yotsuba, they jumped on that real quick. Itsuki and Nino, it did not, but Miku jumped on it on the second episode, which, that's pretty early, and she likes Japanese history, she likes warlords, which that's cool. I'll talk more about that later, when I get to someone else. So, Miku, you're cool. I accept you. You are interesting, but you're just boring. Like, you're relatable, you're cool, but you're just boring. And I guess that's the point of her character. But again, do like her, no problems with her at all, just like all of these other people. So, alright, so through process of elimination, you know who my number 1 will be after I rank the next one. So, I didn't put my phone on silent. Why do I do that in every single one of my videos? So, is my number 2 Nino or Yotsuba? My number 2 is, in fact, Nino. So, I think that during Season 1, she was my least favorite, because she's a bitch. This girl's a fucking cunt. When she first met Futaro, she drugged him so he would pass out so they can kick her out of their fucking apartment. Which, I mean, that's funny, but like, it's kind of not at the same time. It's kind of fucked up. But, so, she has an interesting character. She is the only one, so, I haven't mentioned this yet. When they all were younger, they all looked exactly the same. They were all carbon copies, they were all carbon copies of one another, they all had the same personality, the same whatever. Everything about them was pretty much exactly the same. So, Yotsuba put the ribbon in her hair, she changed her appearance, Ichika cut her hair, Itsuki put the stars in her hair, Nino did not want any of that. She wanted them to all be the same. Even though she's actually the biggest bitch besides Ichika, like, she cares about her sisters, like, more than each one of them cares about another. So, like, she cares more about, like, Miku than, like, say, Itsuki does, probably. So, she's a very caring person, she's just a bitch. And the whole thing that I mentioned with Ichika, how, she will trample over anybody to get what she wants, which in the anime's case is Futaro. That's like some powerful shit. Like, get you a girl who will go through hell for you. Like, that's the kind of girl that you want. And she is the best cook. I like how her and Miku always seem to have like this, like, rivalry, I guess is the word for it. Like, those two are always on each other's asses about whatever bullshit. And it's funny. But I like Nino. The only thing I really don't like about Nino is how she fell in love with Futaro when he was dressed up as his quote-unquote cousin, but it's actually him. Like, that, I'm not with that, dude. I'm really not with that. Um, but yeah, Nino's cool. I feel like her trying to make amends with her father, with Futaro during the end, was cool and everything. And I just like her. Like, it's funny. During season 1, right here. After finishing it, right there. So, Nino, you can stay. Alright, so you already know who my favorite is. I just want to point out that, like, okay, like, compared to, like, Nino and, like, everybody else, Yotsuba to me is, like, right here. She's, like, 5 tiers higher than everybody else. Alright, let's talk about Yotsuba. So, the second I saw her in the first episode, she was my main. She was my main girl. That was my main girl, okay? My friend Crunch fucking hates her. Thinks she's the worst one. I wish that I could tell him she wins, okay? She wins. Oh, my phone went off? Okay. She wins. So, let me do this real quick. So she wins. Everybody else loses. And she is the only one who deserves to win. Not just because she's always been my favorite, just because of how everything in the story pretty much happens because of Yotsuba. Pretty much everything leads back to him. But everything leads back to their mother because they gave her a shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that shit. But, so, I mentioned earlier with Miku how she likes warlords. And that's because Yotsuba had given her a game for whatever console that had warlords in it. The reason why they all look different is because of Yotsuba. The whole reason why they're in that school is because of Yotsuba. It's said in the first episode they all failed some test or whatever. They're all rejects. They got kicked out. No, actually every single one of these girls passed, except for Yotsuba. And they ended up at the same school as Futaro Uesugi, and how he has a picture with one of them, but we don't know that until like a little bit later. And we find out that she chose that school because she knows that Futaro goes there and she's in love with him and wants to see him. And she knows him because she's the one that he met in Kyoto. So, the whole reason why all of these people know Futaro is because of her. Keep in mind that, okay? Next up, her personality is my favorite. She's energetic, she's hyped, she's athletic. She is the most stupid one. I've loved how, since the beginning of the series, she was the only one who didn't hate him that was willing to study. Like, Nino and Itsuki hated him. Miku hated him, but she jumped on the, like I said, she jumped on the love wagon like real quick. Ichika did not hate him, but she did not want to study. Yotsuba was the only one who didn't hate him and wanted to study, and she has been like the backbone of Futaro for the entire series. Futaro even told Yotsuba that if you would not have been so willing to do this from the beginning, I would have given up. I'd be swimming in debt right now. I would have given up. I would have said it's over. I probably would have died. He didn't say that last part. But that moment in, like, when he's picking the girls and how they say, like, oh, I can only go into one room. They're scattered throughout the school. You'll only be going to one room to see one girl. And when he chose Yotsuba, when he looks her in the eye and says, sorry for the wait, to me, that was kind of my dream fulfilled, because I have wanted to see her win since episode 1. And then after that, like, Nino became a bitch, and then become a bitch to her, and then they all started being nice to her again. It's honestly, like Yotsuba really is the backbone of the series. She is the most quintessential of the quintuplets. Like, she can never say no. She can't lie. She was the first one to love Futaro. She was the first one to confess her love to Futaro. Like, she is the backbone of everything that happens in the entire series. And I feel like it's a shame that more people don't seem to like her. A lot more people seem to prefer Nino or Miku, which, you know, based on personality, I get, but based on, what's it called? Like, impact on the story, like, Yotsuba is, like, the most quintessential, and it's not even a fucking contest. So, Yotsuba, you have been my #1 girl since the beginning of the series. You have been it since the last chapter. I love how there's little nods to her winning. Like, there's a scene where they're all taking the test, and one of them, was it Yotsuba? I don't remember. It said when there's a multiple choice answer out of 5, the 4th one's usually correct. When they rang the bell, we saw somebody running up to the bell to tackle Futaro so they can ring the bell. That bell is said to, like, if you ring it with somebody else, you will get married. And she ran to him and tackled him. There's only one of them that can run and tackle him. Well, I'm sure the rest of them can, but she can do it significantly better than the rest of them. When they were all holding his fingers at the end of, like, the first season in that last episode, they're all holding the fingers in terms of, like, their age order. So Ichika's holding the first finger, the thumb, Nino's holding the second finger, the index finger, Miku's holding the middle finger, Yotsuba the 4th is holding the ring finger, and Itsuki's holding the pinky. Like, there's just such little nods that, like, you probably don't, like, that one you probably wouldn't even think about your first time watching. And this is shit that I like. See, some things, like, in anime, like Serial Experiments Lane, for example. The first 2 episodes are probably my favorite episodes in all of anime. Because it's little, they have so much little shit that you don't even think about when you're watching it, okay? And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Quintessential Quintuplets does it better, or even as good, but the fact that it has it is what I fucking love. Not to mention, like, she always has Futaro's back. Like, if Futaro's in trouble, she will choose him over every single one of these girls. And it's crazy, because even though she loves her sisters, it's honestly amazing. Not to mention, she never tells him that she met Futaro. She never tells him. Like, someone like Nino or Ichika, they would have absolutely told him to skew their results. To skew his results. She never tells him because, like, she doesn't want that result to skew, because he wants him to pick who he thinks is best for her, and I fucking respect the hell out of that. She is, like, if only one of these girls was going to heaven, it would be Yotsuba. She can't say no, she can't lie. She's just everything that I would want in a fucking waifu. She can be your best friend, she'll go on a jog. Oh, why'd I say jog? She'll go on a jog, she can power lift you, probably. I don't know. She's always willing to help out anybody else. She is the most quintessential, and this is my ranking, so that's it. I really feel like I could have gone into more detail on, like, every one of these girls, but just Yotsuba is the most quintessential, so that's it. That's my ranking, so I know I said at the beginning of the video I wanted to go in detail as possible. I really didn't do that besides Yotsuba, so sorry about that. I can't be bothered to re-record this, so have a good day.